Hey guys, I'm RozaldVane, and welcome back to another episode of Zero Escape VLR, Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, or Virtue's Last Reward VLR, whichever you like to call it. So, anyways, last episode we basically exited the infirmary, so we went through the whole sort of like repeated like stuff of like them talking about where they're at and what's happening in the next floor of the room, finding another set of chromatic doors, and then we've also did and then we also went through a skip in dialogue for the ambidex room where we had to go in there and do something, but that was cut short because we were supposed to do the ally betray thing, but it was cut short because we found an old lady who is apparently dead, stabbed, and we are now arguing with Kay because he was the guy who was originally in that room, or in that box of ambidex room where the lady was dead, laying there. And it seems like everyone is slowly starting to feel suspicious of Kay because Clover was knocked out in the room with him when we first entered, so we weren't sure if he killed her or not. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, let's continue this conversation because it seems like Dio was already starting to accuse him without even proof.
本当のゼロってのも俺の予想通りお前で
ちょっと待ってください、ディオさん。少し落ち着いていただけませんか。あなたは今ものすごく支離滅裂なことをおっしゃっていますよ。仮に私がゼロだったとしたら、どうして自分が怪しまれるような真似をすると言うんですか。
それはなんだ、裏の裏を書いてたな。
Why? Why put 2 lines of dialogue literally on Dio when he just said a few words?
説明になっていませんよ。いや、しかしディオさんが今おっしゃったことは、ある意味で言えば重要かもしれません。そうなんですよ。ここで疑うべきなのは本当のゼロ。私たちをさらってきた人物こそがあの老婆を殺害した犯人である。そう考えるのが最も自然ではないでしょうか。
そうだね。言われてみれば確かにそうかも。もしもゼロが犯人だとしたら、ハッチだろうと正面の扉だろうといくらでも開きようがあると思うし、実際に AI の方のゼロもそんなようなことを言ってたよね。
僕はこの施設を司るメインコンピュータの一部でもあるからね。電子制御された扉なら閉じたり開いたりするのはたやすいことなんだうさ。
その通りです、四葉さん。第一、もしもゼロ以外の誰かが犯人だとするなら、どうして AI の方のゼロウサギは私たちに何も言ってこないのでしょう。彼はこのゲームを円滑に進めるのが自分の役割だと言っていました。にもかかわらず、こんな不測の事態が発生したというのに彼は沈黙を続けている。なぜでしょう。私たちの動向を常に監視しているであろう彼ならば、あの老婆を殺害したのが誰なのかも当然知っているはずですが、答えは簡単です。犯人は本当のゼロボスだからですよ。おそらくゼロウサギはゼロボスから自分の正体を隠すよう命じられているのでしょ
う。What? Zero Junior, I guess.
私たちに事件の真相を告げれば、おのずとそれが明らかとなってしまう。だから彼は黙っているのです。加えて言うと、もしかしたらこの出来事はゼロウサギにとっては不測の事態でも何でもなかったのかもしれません。老婆の殺害は初めから彼の計画のうちに組み込まれていた。
I mean, it's kind of like similar to Santa in Zero Escape 999, which at this point, again, my last time probably will say this, but I'll keep referencing 999 every now and then because it has some ties to this. But 999, if you haven't seen it or played it, make sure to play it. But also, if you don't want to play it or something, you can watch it on my channel. Of course, I did go through the whole thing. Anyways, yeah, like, I feel like it's kind of like Santa, where he was, like, choosing to set up a point where he forced Ace, Hongo, to go and stab, or not stab, but, like, killed his associates that worked for him to shut them up so that he doesn't, so his identity doesn't get revealed. So it's kind of like that in a way, where like whoever was guilty in this group would probably potentially be the ones who's considered guilty. But I mean, at the same time, it doesn't feel like anyone would have a motive to stab her right off the bat. I don't feel like, because it didn't look like anybody would. Of course, Tenmyoji is a little bit like depressed by the fact that he might know the person. Doesn't mean he was the one who stabbed her, but I don't know, because he was with us pretty much the whole time, so I don't think it would make any sense.
怒るべくして起こったゲーム内のイベントだったということです。
Yep. Killing someone is just part of a game to him.
断言はできませんが、おそらく。
I knew it.
アンビデックスゲーム投票の締め切りまで残り10分です。
Oh, we need to go back to poll.
プレイヤーは速やかに投票を済ませてください。
It's funny because not everyone entered into their spaces.
所定の時刻までに投票を行わなかった場合、未投票者の選択は強力に設定されます。
Whoa, what was that?
さっぱり意味がわからないね。
Yeah, because nobody knew about the rules of ally or betray yet. Everyone's just gonna have to go in there and guess.
でも一つだけ確かなことがあるわ。
And that is?
10分以内に投票とやらを済ませないと何かやばい状況になりそうだってこと。
Not really. It just seems like everyone will just be allied, meaning everyone just gets the same amount of points.
ほらね、私の言った通りでしょ。
But of course, our characters in this version of the road is not really understanding of it yet, so it's like,
こんな事態になってもなお、ゼロウサギは淡々とゲームを進めようとしている。すべて計画通りということですよ。
とにかく倉庫に戻ろう。全員で AB ルームに入れば、ゼロに会えるかもしれない。奴は、部屋の中でルールの詳しい説明をすると言っていたからな。
Alrighty, back to the warehouse. A part of me hopes that they don't really do like a long dialogue stuff, because 10 minutes is not a lot for a dialogue that was similar to the first playthrough where Fi was talking about the prisoner's dilemma and everything. I'm just hoping that we don't get that same dialogue. We just get the simple rule of, okay, choose ally or betray in this scenario, and that's it. We're really going in there. I kind of don't want to. I mean, there was a dead lady in there just a few minutes ago.
あの老婆の自爆霊がいるとでも
No, not of course. Of course not. Yeah. No. It's just, doesn't it bother you?
ああ、全く何とも思わん。霊なんてものは信じてないし。
Ah.
もちろん、老婆が亡くなったことについては、哀れだと思うがな。それとこれとは別だ。
Damn. Kuso. Wait, actually, I don't even need to say Kuso. It'd just be damn, that's it. Damn. You're pretty cold, you know that?
ドライというよりは無頼だ。私は、己が信じるもののみを信じる。
That's pretty much the definition of cold.
さあ、とにかく中に入ろう。
Just made her think for a
他
little
の
bit.
みんなはすでに入室を済ませたようだし。
Fine. Wakata. Hmm? What is it? Nandeska. You find a ghost or something?
違う。奥のモニターを見てみろ。
Is it the screen has like the betray our
何か
ally?
表示されてる。
The screen? Oh. The Ambedex game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the start button on the screen. Once you enter your vote, the door will lock automatically. It will now open again, not open again until the polling period has finished. We have to press it anyways. And there goes the door.
しまったな。
Alright, here we go. The explanation of the law.
やっと揃ったみたいだね。待ってたよ。
So here we are. We've got some questions for you, Zero. Who was that old what?
みんなでいっぺんに話さないでくれる？
Okay, I was about to skip the dialogue, but thankfully there was like a little bit of like a tangent of dialogue. Oh?
シグマくん、他の部屋でも同じようにやいの言ってるんだよ。
Lol.
その部屋は完全な防音処置が施されてるから、君たちには聞こえないだろうけど。
Yeah, that makes sense.
特にやかましいのはディオくんだ。ディオくん、いい加減おとなしくしてもらえないかな。時間がないんだよ。急がないとルール説明が終わる前に締め切り時刻になっちゃいそうだ。
Keep it short and simple, Bunny. I don't want to hear about the lengthy explanation about how betray an ally can hurt us or help us or whatever.
というわけで、以降質問は禁止とします。いちいちみんなの問いかけに答えてる暇はないから、サクサクと進めることにするんだうさ。ほいじゃあ、始めるよ。この AB ゲーム。
Okay, now I probably might be able to skip over here, I
ゲー
think.
ムである以上は、当然対戦相手がいることになるわけなんだけど、実は何もバトルロイヤル的に全員で戦うってわけじゃないんだうさ。一つ一つのラウンドは個人戦になってる。もっとも、ペア版の2名を1人とみなした上での個人戦だけど、だから正確に言うと2対1の戦いってことになるね。さて、その対戦相手は誰なのかっていうと、さっきチームを組んで同じ色の扉に入った人物がそれになる。
Alright, I'm gonna skip over most of it because this explanation is the same thing anyways. Okay.
さてと、
Okay, that was a good explanation in quick speed. So if you don't know what the rules are, if you've skipped episodes and you just were like landing over to this episode because you were like, oh, okay, I want to see what this is, randomly. Basically the rule is you get to choose between ally and betray. If there's two betrays, like, oh, no, let me start over. You get the option of ally or betray. If your person that you teamed up with in the chromatic door, it will be your sort of like a opponent in this case, where you get to choose between ally and betray. If both people who you partnered with, like if the two of us here and the person we partnered up with, which is the solo person, whatever we choose will depend on how much BP we get. BP, ally, will give us 2, plus 2. But if one party chooses to betray the other, the person who betrays will get the plus 3, while the person who said ally to the betray is a minus 2, I think it was. But if both betray, then it's 0. Nothing happens. So it's kind of like a really finicky rule set, but it's like it's meant to just make us feel a little bit of uncertainty against each other. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Literally took me a whole episode just to watch through what the bunny said, because I was just talking over it a few times here and there. But I don't want to see that again because it's getting annoying just to see the rule set when we already know what the rule set looks like. So
以上で基本的なルール説明は終了なんだうさ。
yeah, and that was pretty much the basics explained in like just one sentence.
本当はもうちょっとだけ言わなきゃいけないことがあったんだけど、まあ仕方ないよね。そろそろ時間だし。
Yeah, basically the one thing he didn't get to explain is probably if you lose all your BP, you die. That's pretty much the other case. Oi! Wait.
待たない。待たないし待てない。時間だって言ったでしょ。
But also, they'll probably explain the rules of how everyone's gonna switch colors / numbers as well. Or not numbers. Switch colors and solo / pairing depending on how the thing goes. Because I don't know how randomized that's gonna be if the story's going in a different way here. But we'll see. 5 minutes.
投票の締め切りまで残り1分です。
1 minute? What? So we're just not gonna have a lot of time to think. We just do.
というわけだから、そろそろ僕は失礼するよ。おいじゃあ、また後で。Have a nice トラウマ
We don't really have a lot of time to decide, so we just need to decide now.
シグマ、時間がない。じゃんけんしよ
う。What? Rock, paper, scissors. Jenkan Pon? I think it's Jenkan Pon. Jenken Pon. I think that's what it says in rock, paper, scissors in Japanese.
どちらが投票のボタンを押すか決めるんだ。
Jenken Pon. Sorry, I'm trying to like remember if that was the case of how you call it. Jenken Pon. Jen or Jan? Jenken Pon? Jenken Pon. I can't remember. Anyways. And you think that's a good way to decide?
いいから行くぞ。せーの。じゃんけん。
That's John. Okay, Jan. Jan Ken. Oh, Ken. Okay, it's not Khan. I thought it was Khan. Sorry. Jan Ken. Oh, geez, I really am choosing. Does this choice really matter, though? I'll do scissors. Everyone loves scissors. Scissors. Looks like I won.
くそ。
I think it doesn't matter. I think no matter what, Sigma's gonna win no matter what, I think. Because the player needs to choose in this case, because the flow depends on my choice, not so much as Phi's choice.
それで、どっちを選ぶつもりなんだ。
I guess ally?
私たちの対戦相手は天明寺。あいつが協力を出すという保証でもあるのか。
We got a minute left. I guess not.
だよな。もしも天明寺に裏切られた場合、私たちの BP はどうなると思う？
1. We'd be down to 1 point each. But that's not hopeless. I mean, sure, we'll be a bit further away from the goal, but all we've got to do is earn those points back.
いずれって、いつのことだ？
Okay, well, I don't actually know. But it's pretty obvious that we'll be playing this game more than once. After all, we can't get to 9 BP if we don't.
投票の締め切りまで残り10秒です。
Wow, what a great way to just start talking about stuff that literally is only less than a minute left to go and decide.
とにかく、お前はじゃんけんに勝った。
So is the point of me doing it could have been like interesting. I'm wondering how I would know if betray would become an option, I wonder.
約束通り。さあ、
Oh.
選ぶんだシグマ。
I did kind of cut her off a little bit there.
協力か、裏切りか。
3、2、1。
In that last moment before the count reached 0, I made my choice. Oh, they just cut down the time for whatever reason. I'm glad this actually doesn't have any time pressure. I want to choose ally again. Weirdly enough, I don't want to do any betray until I'm very comfortable with all of them being chosen as ally, because I want to see all the good side of things before hitting the bad side of things. Because I know betray I feel like betray will always be a way to get to a bad ending. And my reasoning for that is because betray feels like a point where you're just stealing away people's points just for the sake of being evil in a way, and you kind of create a distrust with whoever you actually betray on, so that it feels kind of rude to just betray it. So I'll stick with ally for now for the most part. And then when we loop back around, when we return back to this choice again, we'll do Betray and see where that takes us. Because I am kind of curious where that takes us later on. Ally. I'm pretty sure Tenmyoji should stick with Ally, though. Vote has been recorded. Please wait.
アンビデックスゲーム第1ラウンド終了。結果は倉庫内のディスプレイに表示されます。お疲れ様でした。
It's funny because it says thank you for your participation, but when I think about Otsukare, it's good job in a weird way. I learned the word from frickin' playing Persona 5 Royale, where one of the characters, one of the characters, I don't want to say which character, one of the characters is like using that word as like a goodbye weird way. And instead of saying matane, they always say like Otsukare de Otsukare. And it's weird too because I've learned Otsukare sama deshita, which is like thank you for today or something like that. Thank you all for today or something. So it's like it's interesting to just hear that here and in a weird way in a different context.
アンビデックスゲートを開放します。
開始後dash. As Fi and I stepped out of the AB room, I could see the others running towards the projection, shoving and pushing to get closer. Tenmyoji was left behind, his footsteps a slow, heavy plod. What had happened to him? What had happened to make him like that? Maybe because the old lady had something to do with him, that he's just so dispirited by that?
シグマ。協力を選んだんだな。
I mean, I told you what I was thinking, and I stuck by the fact that I was going to choose that. You didn't disagree. You just thought, like, you just gave us a little, like, thought, but not so much as, like, encouraging it like you did in the first playthrough. The first playthrough, like, Fi was really hammering, like, betray, because it's going to be too late for us if we don't choose it. But in here, it's like, we only had, like, one dialogue or two, and that was it, about betraying or not. You don't get to complain. I won, remember?
別に文句をつけるつもりはない。ただ、あまりにもお人よしなやつだと、そう思ってな。
If Tenmyoji chooses Ally, then screw you, Fi. I'm sorry, Fi. I don't want to be mean to you, but you literally, clearly just makes me feel like you need to be antagonized for a little bit every now and then. Oh, you worry too much. I'm sure Tenmyoji chose Ally too.
その根拠のない自信が、お人よしだって言ってるんだよ。
And that is totally fair. I do have a misguided optimism in some cases.
おーいシグマくんファイくん何してるんだよ結果発表始めちゃうよ
Let's go. Ikimashou. We should have a look at our results.
ああ、わかったよ。
Alright, let's see what happens.
揃ったみたいだねほいじゃあ早速だけど始めることにしよっかアンビデックスゲーム
That pause kind of concerns me for a second. I was like, what is going on?
第1ラウンド結果発表
This is making me stress out because I'm like... It's stressing me out because the tension is building in the fact that I don't know if this is the same Tenmyoji. Like, I think this might be a little bit different because Tenmyoji in the other playthrough, the first playthrough, he was expecting to ally. But here, it's like he's a little bit more dispirited. So does that make him different than what he was in the other playthrough? I'm wondering.
皆さん、画面にご注目ください。
Oh. I like how Tenmyoji seems so calm. Betray ally. Oh, Luna, no. Oh, so he does do that. Wow. But not only that, like, I do expect Kay and Clover to betray. That was expected because I knew that I knew that from the other playthrough, that Kate and Clover never will ever choose ally, which is dumb as hell to me. I'm just like, why even bother with that? Why even bother with that couple? I don't know why I say couple. Those pair. Like, why bother with those pair? Those guys would never ever seem to like choose ally for some reason. Quark and Deal betray Alice? That was kind of expected in a weird way, because Quark did mention how Deal was like very interested in betraying Luna when we did the first playthrough, but reluctantly Quark convinced him off of it, and because of how nice Luna was. I think Alice being a mysterious type of person, and sort of like a little bit of like a non like sort of like nice person in some people's eyes, kind of does create a rift in her sort of personality and being an ally person, because she did betray us, which I really disliked. And she rubbed it in our wound, that she was like, she rubbed salt in the wound by just saying, ha, you know, like you deserve it, or like you were dumb or whatever. But jeez, looking at the surprise, we chose ally and Tenmyoji switched to frickin' betray. I am surprised. I'm wondering what changed Tenmyoji's like behavior to betray, because we didn't really distrust them and we didn't like say anything against them. There wasn't like, it was very neutral basically. Like, I think that betray an ally in an odd way is way too hard to determine if you want to do it or not, because in this narrative of this game, I feel like everybody's pretty much neutral throughout the whole interaction in the puzzle room before we enter this particular round of choosing. So it's hard to really gauge if ally betray are right choices, and I think that's one of the downsides of it, is that those puzzle rooms don't really serve much besides getting to know the characters by slight bit, but really don't really give you like a winging of like where the arrow should point in terms of betray or ally. And so that's a big problem for me personally, that even with Tenmyoji, I thought they would stay with the similar like choices, which is fine if they changed it because they want to make it more unexpected. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with losing out on this. I'm not gonna say much about like being, I'm not as angry as I was with us being like a betray, because I kind of like come to the expectation that they will do stuff that I was not expecting at all, which is totally fair.
というわけで、結果発表は以上なんだうさ。
So we're back down to the betray once more, meaning that we're in the flow of the right side, right? No, we're in the left. How do we get choices though? How the hell do we make choices still, even though we we get to make a choice even though we lost out on the points? I'm surprised.
各自バングルの数字を確かめてほしいんだうさ。
So I'm in the red pair 1.
シグマ、ファイ。すまんな。
No, I totally understand Tenmyoji. I feel like there's something that changed his heart into betray. どうして? Why? Tenmyoji, why? I trusted you.
じゃから、すまんと言っておろうが。
Yeah, at least he apologized versus saying that you're an idiot for choosing the other thing.
ほらな。だから言っただろ。
Why are you always like this, Fi? It's like Fi makes it seem like she's smart, when she really doesn't know any better either. I hate this so much. That so far it's 2 out of 2 where Fi is like, you're stupid. You see? It's like, how do you even know if that's gonna be the case? I feel like if we chose Betray, this game will force Tenmyoji to choose Ally. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. The reason why is because they want the story to feel like there's drama in it. I really don't like games that forcefully try to make drama into a thing. I just want it to be peaceful. Or like at least straightforward at least. Instead of just a complicated opposing choice. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen a choice that's like... Maybe if we go to the next branch, which is where Luna is our third party member, then maybe she won't betray at all to begin with, and that's totally fair. I think that's what it is, probably, is Luna will be the one who's not choosing to betray at all. Because Luna seems like she so far has been allying in every choice she's made so far, which is very kind of unique, but yeah.
お人よしはバカを見る。
Oh, shut up. You said this in the first playthrough, now you're doing it again.
そういうゲームなんだよ。このゲームは。
Just tell me one thing, Tenmyoji. Why did you do it?
いちいち説明が必要か。人が一人殺されておるんじゃぞ。
And what's your point? Somebody being murdered was not because of the fact that the bracelet where this game happened. They were murdered because they had something to do with somebody's problems. Frankly, we don't know whose problem it is, but frickin' we're involved with it because we have no choice because we were forced in here. So whoever's problem is in here, we should probably be looking into them. But we need time, not death.
その犯人がお前さんたちではないという保証などどこにもない。
Oh, shut the hell up, Tenmyoji. Now he's acting like an idiot. I'm sorry. I take the apologies. The voting thing is okay, fine. You know, you have your weird excuses, but this excuse doesn't really help anything or anyone.
この状況で相手を信じるなどとは愚の骨頂じゃ。そうは思わんかね。
I think Tenmyoji is choosing those choices because he's not thinking about the ultimate goal anymore, which is weird to me. He's thinking about saving his own hide. That's a problem. Nobody should be starting to think about saving their own hide just because they saw a murder happen, or not actually seeing the murder happen, but seeing a dead body in the space. They should be thinking about the end goal, not the shorthand goal of surviving. That's just kind of dumb. I think that death really does turn some people into weird people, I guess.
とにかくわしは行かせてもらうぞ。
Shut the hell up. You didn't even, give us a good reason. I think he's hiding a better reason behind why he chose it.
疲れたんじゃ。
Also, in the first playthrough, I think he also admittedly thinks that him being old and tired is forgiving enough to be, considered, dead for himself, but I don't know. I do think that that's what happened, is, he knows that his life is not long for whatever reason.
身も心もな。
But I do think that Tenmyoji doesn't feel like a character who should even try to betray. The reason why I think so is because, again, I think he has a belief that he doesn't have long to live anyways because of something going on in his past, but in a weird way he chose to betray because he's written for this branch to be dumber, I think, than he usually would be, but I don't know. Tenmyoji shuffled off, the same weight I'd seen earlier sitting heavy on his shoulders. It was only then that I've noticed an angry voice nearby. Is it Alice yelling at Dio? Yep.
ちょっと
Honestly, I do think it's funny because I get to see Alice's reaction because she got what she deserved in a weird way. I like this because it's okay, finally we get to see her angry because she gets to be betrayed. Because, I mean, the beauty of it is that I got betrayed by Alice. Alice betrayed us and called us stupid and stuff. But here, she gets no excuse of that either. She gets none of that here. No allyship, just betrayed because she chose the one thing we chose against her or with her, with allying or not. It's just hilarious to me. Anyways, I'm gonna stop here anyways. We're going a little bit over time, and I noticed it. But thank you guys for watching. In the next episode, let's hear out what Alice have to say to Dion and Quark. It's quite frankly funny to me again, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So, otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one or a video of mine, and hope you guys have a great, amazing day, good night, or whenever watching this. Roz, out.